Well, good Thursday morning. South Central stepping outside this morning. You may have noticed, we did see a bit more cloud coverage. We are officially kickstarting summer at 12:50 this afternoon. A beautiful start to the day across parts of the state. In fact, as we take a look at what's going on in Southeast, this is a live look from Ketchikan, where we're seeing those mostly sunny conditions and those cruise ships docking. But again, summer officially starting at 12:50 this afternoon. It is going to be a gorgeous stretch of weather as we carry into the weekend, even with the clouds that we do have in place across parts of South Central. So here is the latest on what we're expecting to see over the next couple of days. And you can see the forecast for today, 64 degrees. Now this is the earliest start to summer in 228 years. Now, one thing we are going to be watching here over the next couple of days is our temperatures warming back into the 70s. Typically on average, we see about 16 days where temperatures warm into the 70s each year. So far this season, we've only seen one. Last year we saw 10 days, and back in 2022 we did manage to climb to into the 70s at least 26 times. And we're watching for the potential for some 70s to return back in the forecast throughout the afternoon and evening hours here over the next couple of days. So what we're going to be watching today, high pressure backing off. That means a bit more cloud coverage to be expected across South Central, which is certainly what we're dealing with this afternoon. Slow warming into the weekend. While we've spent a large portion of this week with highs in the low to mid 60s outside of the valley, where temperatures have managed to warm into the 70s, many areas across South Central will make that return this weekend. In fact, much like we saw last weekend, we could see the potential for highs in the mid to upper 70s. What this will mean for us is the thunderstorm potential will increase once again. We're going to be quieter today in terms of thunderstorm development, but by the weekend, we are going to be watching the return of some storms in the forecast. Thinking much like we saw last Friday and Saturday, that's pretty much what we can expect to see as we welcome in the close of this week. We are sitting in the 50s across South Central, out towards Southeast. Pleasant weather, a bit sunnier as you head through the southern inner channels, but notice from the slope out through western Alaska and the Aleutians, we are holding on to a bit of cloud coverage with more sunshine or sunnier weather expected for the interior. That's where we're going to be watching for highs today, topping out in the 70s, if not near 80 degrees. So additional thunderstorm development does look likely through the interior, where we have seen numerous wildfires. Now, the largest wildfire we have across the state is the McDonald fire that started back on June 8th from lightning. That is nearly 40,000 acres now, and that is burned well over half of what we've already seen so far this season. Statewide, just over 70,000 acres have burned. So what we're going to be watching, that ridge again has backed off. We've got an area of low pressure that's building into the Gulf of Alaska. Not only is that introducing a bit more cloud coverage, but we've got some rain that's impacting coastal regions of South Central from western Prince William Sound through southern parts of the Kenai. Just expecting to see some isolated showers throughout the day. Nothing significant for the coast, but be prepared for some of those showers to stick around as we head through the remainder of the day. And looking at the last 10 days across South Central, not much in the way of rain has fallen. Now, we did see some of those thunderstorms last Friday and Saturday. Now, we didn't see any of that actually record at the airport with the exception of Saturday, but we have to go all the way back to June 11th before we saw any significant measurable precip across the Anchorage Bowl. And typically for the month of June, right around this time, we should be sitting at about a half an inch, and we are going to be watching for additional thunderstorm development again as we welcome in the weekend. So just some coastal showers today. We may see a rogue thunderstorm out towards the foothills of the Talkeetna Mountains, but I think we'll stay cool enough and cloudier enough today that we shouldn't see any significant storm forming. Now, as we welcome in the weekend, Friday into Saturday, notice the doors open for widespread rain out towards the Panhandle. This is going to set the stage for wet and breezier conditions to kickstart your weekend and the first part of next week. And then as temperatures warm Friday and Saturday, notice those storms popping up and more coverage across South Central. That is the power of that heat that we are going to see. As we see that diurnal heating, expect storms to begin to fire up after about 3 to 4 p.m. each afternoon starting tomorrow. For today, though, best chance for some stormy weather will be through the interior. And again, remember, anytime you hear thunder to head indoors, because not only is that lightning strike potentially deadly, but it could start some wildfires as well. We got the mid to upper 70s through the interior. here, really from the southeast through south central and then down through southwest Alaska and the western coast. We'll see those temperatures in the 60s. Not a bad start to summer, but we do want some warmth heading our way, and as promised, it is just a few days away. We're in the 60s, upper 60s tomorrow up under partly cloudy skies. There's Saturday and Sunday. Now, last a couple of weeks, Saturday and Sunday has paved the way for the best weather. So you want to get outdoors. Just keep in mind that we will be watching for some additional thunderstorm development as we welcome in the weekend. Put that in the 7-day because it does look likely that it will encounter parts of the Anchorage out towards East Anchorage over the Chugach Range and potentially even Eagle River, seeing some of that thunderstorm development as we welcome in the weekend. But as far as those 70s, they are back in the forecast. We may see them warm back near 70 as we welcome in Monday, but through next week we do see somewhat of a cooling trend back into the mid to upper 60s. But overall, not a bad start to summer. And again, we are chasing 70s. We'll have more on that, as well as a 7-day more on that, as well as the active wildfires across the state coming up in the noon show as well as in the evening newscast. For now, have a great Thursday and a great summer solstice.